Chapter 10. Dink had eaten too fast. Now his stomach felt like he'd swallowed marbles. What if Mademoiselle Musset is there? He asked. What if I was all wrong and she's going to sue me or something? Let's just go and find out, Josh said. And if you go to jail for breaking and entering her trunk, I'll bring you a lobster claw. Dink, Josh, and Ruth Rose walked toward the lodge. The first thing they saw was a police cruiser parked in front of the porch. They must be here to arrest Mademoiselle Musset, Ruth Rose whispered. Or Dink, Josh teased. Dink found that his mouth was too dry to say anything back to Josh. The front door of the lodge opened. Two police officers escorted Mademoiselle out of the building and down onto the driveway. Her hands were handcuffed in front of her. With Mademoiselle Musset in the back seat of the cruiser, the officers drove away. Detective Rob held the door open for the kids. Come in, he said. The Darbys are waiting for you. He led them to the great room. Michael and Bessie Darby were sitting on one of the sofas. Sitting between them and holding Bessie's hand was Buzzy Steele. Well, hello, Michael Darby said when he saw the kids enter. Please sit. Mario is going to bring us all some lemonade. The kids sat on another sofa facing the Darbys and Buzzy. Buzzy looked at Dink, Josh, and Ruth Rose. He winked. First, I want to thank you three for exposing Mademoiselle for the thief she is, Michael Darby said. When we decided to open this little camp, we had no idea any real detective work would be necessary. Mademoiselle Musset admitted to everything Detective Rob told the kids. If you three hadn't figured out what she was up to, she'd have walked out of here with several extremely valuable paintings. Bessie Darby turned to Buzzy. Dear, why don't you tell the children the real story? Buzzy blushed. Okay, Grandma, he said. You're the Darby's grandson? Josh blurted out. Yep, I sure am, Buzzy said. I didn't say anything because I wanted all the kids to treat me the same as Luke and Angie. Anyway, this is what happened. When Mademoiselle Musset came, by the way, her real name is Maud Mern, Detective Rob said. She wasn't from France at all, but she was wanted in 5 states out west. In Arizona, she's known as Maud the Fraud. She left there in a hurry and changed her name when she got here. When she got here to clean the paintings, my grandparents told her about detective camp and all the kids we were expecting, Buzzy said. I guess she figured with the detective and a bunch of kids snooping around, her scam might be discovered. So she made a plan, right, Detective Rob? He nodded. She decided to add some confusion so no one would pay attention to her. Detective Rob said, she took a few pieces of the Darby's silver and hid them under mattresses in kids' cabins. Then she went to the Darbys and told them she'd seen a kid running out of the great room. The Darbys warned Buzzy about it. My grandparents asked me to search the cabins, Buzzy continued. I did and found the silver animals. I put them in my trunk for safekeeping, he blushed. I admit, though, I thought some of the kids had stolen the silver. Then Maud pretended her ring had been stolen and hid it under a mattress. Detective Rob went on. She planned to demand a search. She figured the stolen stuff would be found. Kids would be accused, and the Darbys would send you all home. Then she could continue her scam. But Ruth Rose found the ring before Maud could get a search going. So her plan to shut down the camp backfired. Michael Darby said, Thank goodness you clever kids discovered her trunk's secret hiding place. Turns out her father was a magician, and that was his trunk, Detective Rob said. He used to hide things inside that hollow door. Bessie Darby sighed. So sad. The woman was a talented painter and restorer, but she threw it all away because she was greedy. What will happen to her? Ruth Rose asked. She'll go back to Arizona for trial, Detective Rob said. Thanks to you three awesome detectives. At 5 o'clock, everyone feasted on lobster, corn on the cob, salad, and ice cream. The Darbys came to the lake and sat in lawn chairs out of the sun. At 6 o'clock, Buzzy supervised swimming and diving off the dock. Some kids went canoeing with Angie and Luke. Dink, Josh, and Ruth Rose were standing up to their shoulders in the clear, still, warm lake water. I wonder if that monster really is hibernating in the lake, Josh said, peering into the water. Maybe you're standing on him, Dink said. Better watch out. I'm not afraid of any old months. Suddenly, Josh's eyes opened wide. His tongue drooped out of his mouth. He fell over and he disappeared under the water. Josh, the Joker, Dink said. I wonder how long he'll stay under Ruth Rose said, looking into the water where Josh had been standing. Just then she let out a yell and jumped into the air. Something pinched me, she said. It felt like a... Josh's laughing face broke the surface. He was holding a red lobster claw, making the two pinchers open and close. That's for scaring me last night, Ruth Rose said. Now we're even. You're so immature, Ruth Rose said. Then she jumped on Josh and dunked him under the water. The end.